Well, good morning. Let's talk about a variety of things, the winners and losers for this year so far, and a couple other things. All right, let's get on with it. Well, okay. First, winners and losers for this year. The buckets are the obvious winners. They are really doing good. My squash has got a couple 3 squash on it already. The carrots are looking fantastic. The lettuce is doing great. The bucket's just been a success. And I think last video when I covered the buckets, I did miss one point. And that point is this year when I was emptying the buckets out and redoing the soil, I actually filled 4 more buckets that I gave to my daughter. And I forgot to mention that. So the original bag of soil that filled 3 to 4, and I don't remember exactly, it's been a little while, it actually filled 11 buckets this year. Okay? So 11 or 12. I guess 12. So anyway, that's the winner, the obvious winner. This part is doing great. My beds were kind of draggy and not really doing very well. I had a little trouble with stuff not really germinating very well, but it's kind of coming out of that now. I don't know, the weather's changing, it's getting warmer and it's getting a little drier. You know, we're still getting a lot of rain, but it's not as bad as it was. And we're getting over the cool evenings. This was a very long, cold spring, you know, where we just kept getting little frost warnings and down to 40 at night, and times, you know, into when we really shouldn't have ever had it, you know. We were getting March weather in May, you know. So that's okay. That's over with. Things are getting slowly picking up and doing better. Now, the obvious loser this year, well, that was the peanuts. I planted the seed twice. So I started a dozen cups the first time, nothing came up, nothing. Planted another dozen seeds about 3 weeks later to see if, well, maybe maybe the nights were just too cool. That time I got 1 plant. I just set it out. So today I was running some errands. I was out with my truck running around, and I decided, look, I only got 1 peanut plant. Well, that leaves a whole bed that I got nothing in it but 1 peanut plant. So what am I going to do? Well, I just wheeled into one of my little local haunts, you know, to see just what bedding plants they had left. And I got a couple of bell peppers, you know, a red one and a yellow one, or an orange one and a yellow one, I think. That'll be okay. My wife, I usually don't plant a lot of peppers because my wife won't eat them. But in this case, you know, what the heck, I can make stuffed peppers and she'll just eat the stuffing out of the middle. So it'll be all right. Won't hurt anything. But I got those, and I'm looking around a little more, a couple of pepper plants. You know, I don't need any more than that. Like I say, the wife won't eat them at all. So I'm thinking, well, what else we got? And I ended up, of all things, with some eggplant. A couple of those. Well, darn. I've never planted eggplant. I've never grown it. I've never eaten it. Don't know how to cook it. But I've got 2 plants. And they're looking, you know, surprisingly sturdy and healthy. So if you have any great suggestions for eggplant on what they need to grow well, or even how to cook them, you know, chime in the suggestions, let me know. Now, this brings me to my last subject. Now, I usually don't do this, but this one time I'm going to because I have a bet going. I am 27 subscribers away from winning a steak dinner from my wife. Okay? Told me she'd buy me a steak dinner when I got to that number of subscribers. Well, being as we're into the summer, people are busy in their own gardens. YouTube viewership isn't as good in the summer. So things have kind of slowed down. Through the winter, it wasn't uncommon to pick up in January 25 a day or a week, you know, just and not be putting out any videos, just people watching stuff that, you know, of yours that they found. So, just this one time, if you can help me, if you haven't subscribed, doesn't cost anything, of course, please hit the subscribe button. If you could share or give me a shout out or anything like that that you think might help me, you know, I've got a date that I have to get to this point by, or I lose the bet. So anything you could do, I'd sure appreciate it. It's just kind of all in fun anyway. Well, all right. I want you all to have a quality day. Bye.